My girlfriend mocked me over lunch. My work husband treats me better than you. So I thanked him with a $50 gift card and a note saying, appreciate you taking care of her. She laughed until HR called her in. I didn't say a word. Her job was on the line. And then she found out why. You know what betrayal sounds like? It sounds like your girlfriend laughing over dinner, leaning back in her seat, sipping wine you paid for, and saying, honestly, my work husband buys me lunch every day. You really need to step up. She said it like a joke, like it was funny, like the man she lives with, me, was some kind of backup plan. I stared at her. I didn't say a word, just watched the pieces click into place. My name's Drew Bennett. I'm 32, and I work in risk management for a logistics firm just outside Charleston. I live my life by one rule. Look at the variables, predict the outcome. It's what I do for a living. Too bad I didn't apply that rule to my own relationship sooner. My girlfriend, ex-girlfriend now, her name was Marissa Clay. She's 29, smart, quick on her feet, always the center of attention. We've been together for 3 years, living in my condo for the last one. I paid most of the bills, helped fix her credit, even co-signed her fancy silver coupe when she wanted to look the part for her new marketing job. That job? That was where everything went sideways. She got promoted to Associate Director of Branding at Eastport Insurance Group. Big company, buttoned up, very old school. She was thrilled. I was proud of her at first. Then came the name I started hearing too often, Nathan. Nathan Thatcher, her boss. Senior Vice President of Marketing. Married, 45, lives in a gated community on James Island. She wouldn't stop talking about him. Nathan says I'm the smartest person on the team. Nathan loved my proposal. Nathan took us all to lunch at Leon's. Nathan thinks I should be presenting directly to the CMO. At first, I thought it was just hero worship. Then it got worse. She started calling him her work husband, laughing about how they text late at night, complaining when I raised an eyebrow. God, Drew, don't be one of those jealous boyfriends, she'd snap. It's just a joke. Grow up, right? A joke. Until that dinner. Until the smirk. Until she said I needed to step up. She didn't know it, but that was the last straw. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't storm out. I just smiled. You're right, I said. That's very generous of him. I should thank him. Her smirk twitched. What? No, I mean it, I said calmly. It's nice to know someone's looking out for you at work. The rest of dinner was quiet. She was texting again, probably him. I didn't care. I had already decided. I was done being the fool. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're loving the story. Quick question. Ever had a work husband or work wife situation cross the line? Comment where you're from and tell me about it. The next morning, I started my research. Her company was public, so their HR policy was online. 68 pages long. Page 42 was gold. No romantic relationships between managers and direct reports. No gifts. No excessive favoritism. Violations meant immediate investigation and possible termination. Perfect. I found Nathan's full name on LinkedIn. Found his wife's Instagram through a tag photo. Kids. Boat. House with a pool. Then I wrote the card. Dear Mr. Nathan Thatcher, I just wanted to send a quick note to thank you for taking such great care of my girlfriend, Marissa Clay. She tells me you often buy her lunch and makes sure she's supported at work. It's reassuring to know she has such a generous and kind mentor. Thanks again, Drew Bennett. I slid a $50 Starbucks card inside. Neatly addressed it to his corporate office. Sent it express. Then I waited. Friday afternoon. I'm at work. I get a text. Drew, what did you do? Call me now. HR is involved. Then another. You sent a card? They think we're having an affair. Call me. I muted my phone. Went back to work. That evening, I got home and found Marissa standing in our living room, pale as a ghost, eyes red from crying. You ruined everything, she said. No, I replied, calmly hanging on my jacket. I just sent a thank you card. You idiot. You don't send that kind of thing in writing. HR thinks there's something going on. I looked her dead in the eye. Is there? She froze, swallowed hard. For a second, I saw the truth flicker across her face. You did this to sabotage me. I shook my head. No, Marisa. I did what you told me to. I stepped up. That night, she was out. I handed her a suitcase. She screamed, sobbed, begged. I didn't budge. You said your work husband takes care of you. I told her. Go live with him. It had been 2 hours since I told Marissa to pack. I went to grab a burger, and when I got back, she was gone. Her suitcase, her fancy curling wand, and most of her makeup vanished. In her place was a handwritten note on the kitchen counter. You are a disgusting, insecure coward. You just destroyed the best thing that ever happened to you. Enjoy your empty condo, loser. I didn't even finish reading it. I tossed it in the trash, called a locksmith first thing Saturday morning, and had every lock changed before lunch. That's when I called Cam. Cam is a close friend of mine from college. He's now a contract attorney in Atlanta. And unlike me, he's used to dealing with people who turn vindictive when their lies catch up to them. I sent him a neat little package. Screenshot of the HR policy, photo of my thank you card, receipt for the Starbucks gift card, screenshots of Marissa's text joking about her work husband. Cam called me 5 minutes later, laughing so hard he had to put me on speaker. Drew, my man, he said, this is chef's kiss. Textbook plausible deniability. You're the picture of the polite boyfriend. I finally slept like a baby that night, but I should have known. The entitled ones never go quietly. Monday night, unknown number. Drew Bennett. The voice was deep, commanding. This is Alan Clay, Marissa's father. We need to talk. Okay, you've made a massive mistake. A mistake that could permanently damage my daughter's future. I didn't respond. You're going to call our company's HR department, he continued, and you're going to tell them you're unstable, jealous, and misunderstood everything. You're going to take the fall for this mess, Drew. Mr. Clay, I said flatly. Your daughter told me her married boss was buying her lunch every day. She joked about their chemistry, mocked me to my face, and then demanded I step up. So I did. This isn't a joke. You're on thin ice, son. No, I said she was. And now it's cracking. Have a good evening. I hung up. He called back. Twice. I didn't answer. Next morning, Marissa's best friend, Brielle, decided to get involved. Brielle, you're such a psycho. You blew up Marissa's career because you couldn't handle her being more successful than you. Brielle, she's sobbing in my apartment. She can't make her car payment now. I hope you're proud. Brielle, she's going to lose her car. You know she can't afford it without you. That made my stomach sink. Her car, the silver coupe I co-signed on last year, because her credit was a dumpster fire. I was the primary on that lease. If she defaulted, my credit took the hit. I called Cam again. She's unemployed. She's angry, and she's in a car I'm financially responsible for. Come grown it. Get the car back. Now, voluntary repossession. Today, I called the leasing company, explained the situation. The rep was sympathetic. I gave them Brielle's address. 2 hours later, Marissa's text blew up my phone. Marissa, are you kidding me? Marissa, they're taking my CR. Marissa, you had it repossessed? You psycho. Marissa, I need that CAR for job interviews. You bite down, moment. Then typed, ask your work husband for a ride. Blocked her. Blocked Brielle. Blocked Mr. Clay. Wednesday night, a mutual friend, Julia, who thankfully was on Team Drew, sent me a quiet message. Heard from a friend at Eastport. Nathan's demoted. Marissa's fired. You weren't kidding. That card nuked everything. I asked her for details. Marissa, terminated for cause. They had records of non-work texts, calendar invites for private strategy lunches, and my thank you card tied all together. Nathan, not fired but basically ruined. Stripped of his title, demoted to a nobody analyst in risk and compliance. Transferred out of his department. All bonuses gone. All unvested stock revoked. And his wife? Julia added. His wife filed for divorce. Taking him for everything. I think she's keeping the boat. Friday, I get a letter delivered to my condo. Official law firm letterhead. Clay, Marshall and Tate. It's from Mr. Clay's law partner. A cease and desist. It accuses me of intentional sabotage, malicious interference, emotional distress, demanding $75,000 in damages for Marissa's loss of reputation and future income. I scanned it, sent it to Cam. Cam, they're bluffing. Tortious interference is hard to prove. You sent one thank you card. That's not sabotage, that's etiquette. He drafted a response. Our client sent a single thank you card in good faith. Your client's employment consequences are a direct result of her own admitted violations of company policy. Any further threats will result in a motion for sanctions for harassment and abusive process. Sent. Certified. Not a single response since. Saturday. Loud knock on my door. Police. Mr. Bennett, the officer said. We're here to supervise Miss Clay as she collects her belongings. I peeked out. Marissa and her father stood behind the cruiser. She was smirking. He was glaring. Absolutely, officer, I said. Everything's packed and ready. I opened door. 12 boxes, labeled and taped. Clothes, makeup, books. Everything. She says you're holding a valuable heirloom, the officer added. Marissa stepped forward. The antique writing desk in your office? My grandmother's. He's keeping it. I nodded. Ah, the desk I bought on my credit card from King Street Antiques last year. I pulled up the receipt on my phone, showed it to the officer. The officer handed me back the phone. Ma'am, this is a civil dispute. He has a receipt. It's not theft. Take your boxes and go. Mr. Clay looked like he was about to stroke out. The officer shot him a warning look. Sir, sidewalk. Now, Marissa didn't say a word while she loaded the boxes. Just glared at me. You'll regret this, Drew, she said finally. No, I said. I regret wasting 3 years. But I'm good now. I closed the door, locked it, took a deep breath, and laughed. It's been 3 weeks since the night Marissa left screaming into the dark, her father dragging boxes down my driveway like he was carrying caskets. And let me tell you, peace is underrated. No more passive-aggressive texts. No more cold silence at dinner while she giggled at someone else's messages. No more watching the woman I love slowly become a stranger obsessed with status, praise, and free lunch from a married man. But peace? It doesn't come easy, because people like Marissa, narcissists dressed in ambition, don't go quietly. They flail. They try to pull you under with them. My friend Julia kept me in the loop. She had mutual connections at Eastport and was kind enough to pass along the whispers. After her official termination, Marissa moved in with Brielle temporarily. That lasted less than 2 months. Why? Because apparently, Marissa expected Brielle to cover everything. Rent, groceries, wine, even gas. She didn't job hunt. She didn't clean. She didn't even get out of bed some days. Just lay there with her laptop, reapplying to marketing jobs she was overqualified for, but no one would touch her. Why? Because word travels. Eastport wasn't just any firm. It was old money, high-powered Charleston elite. The kind of place where reputational damage sticks. One HR flag, especially for inappropriate behavior with a married boss, that's enough to make every other door slam shut. So when Brielle kicked her out, she had no choice. She moved back in with her parents in Mount Pleasant. Julia's last update. She's working front desk at a tiny local insurance agency. Part-time, entry-level, driving her dad's beat-up Corolla. From queen of marketing to receptionist. All because she couldn't keep it professional. Nathan didn't walk away clean, either. After the demotion and losing his VP title, he was shoved into corporate purgatory, the risk and compliance department. No team, no authority, just a desk, a screen, and endless policy audits. He was also banned from mentoring junior staff. Not officially, but unofficially, everyone knew. His wife filed for divorce 2 weeks after the story broke. Apparently, it wasn't the first time he blurred the lines. She's keeping the boat and the house. He's living in a short-term rental on John's Island. Julia even saw his boat listed online, marked down by $30,000. No bites yet. One more letter arrived in the mail. No law firm this time, just Alan Clay's personal stationery. You may think you've won, but no decent man destroys a woman's future out of spite. Marissa is broken because of you. She trusted you. You'll never find peace, not with a conscience like yours. Alan Clay, I didn't reply, but I kept it. Why? Because it proved everything. Even now, when Marissa had sunk herself, her father still believed I was the villain. Never mind the betrayal, the lies, the blatant emotional affair, the HR violations, the car, the entitled meltdown. Nope. To him, it was all my fault. I took that letter and sent a copy to Cam. He messaged me back. Let them stew. No response is the loudest message. You won the war. Let's be real. The voluntary repo on the car hit my credit hard. Dropped my score by almost 90 points. I filed the dispute, sent proof that she had possession, proof of her unemployment, text messages, everything. Cam says it'll take time, but I've got a paper trail. In the meantime, I got a new card through my bank to help rebuild. I'm watching every dime. I sold the desk, yeah, that desk, for $1,800. Use it to pay Cam and fund a weekend trip to Asheville. Credit will bounce back. Self-respect? That was the real repair. 3 months after the fallout, I started seeing someone. Her name's Tessa. We met at a farmer's market. She designs outdoor learning spaces for public schools. Has dirt under her nails, wears boots, drives a dusty old Jeep, and thinks networking events are fake. When I told her about the work husband situation, she laughed. Work husband? Who wants a second husband? One is enough of a headache. She gets it. I didn't ruin Marissa's life. I didn't destroy Nathan's career. All I did was send a thank you card. They built a house of cards on arrogance and bad judgment. And I tapped the table. They blamed me for the fall. But gravity's not my fault. You ever feel a shadow walk into the room before you even look up? That's what happened to me the day Marissa came to my office. It had been 4 months. 4 quiet, peaceful, productive months. I was back in rhythm, working late, rebuilding my finances, dating Tessa, and finally getting used to smiling without feeling guilty about it. Then I heard someone say my name behind me, almost too quietly. Drew. I turned around, and there she was. Marissa. Hair pulled back, lipstick smudged, jacket too big on her frame, holding a sad little manila envelope like it was a lifeline. My stomach dropped. Marissa, what the hell are you doing here? I stood up instantly, instinctively blocking the entrance to my cubicle so no one else could see. I just needed to talk to you, she said, looking around nervously. Please, just 5 minutes. Not here, outside. I glanced at the time. 3:17 p.m. I stepped out into the hallway and motioned toward the back exit. My coworkers were still at their desks. No scene yet. We got outside. She didn't waste time. Everything's gone, she said, almost robotic. My job, my friends, my car. My dad won't even speak to me unless I'm asking about resumes. I stayed silent. She reached into the envelope and handed me a printed letter. My name was on the top. To Drew Bennett. I know I don't deserve forgiveness, but I owe you honesty. It was a written apology. 3 pages. Typed. Signed. She admitted everything. That the lunches were real. That Nathan had kissed her. That they'd planned a weekend conference trip together before it blew up. That she knew the company policy was strict, but thought she was above it. That I was just convenient. It started as an ego thing, she said, but then it became a way to test if you'd fight for me. I wanted you to compete. I didn't think you'd walk away. You didn't think I'd leave after you humiliated me? She looked down. No, I thought you loved me too much. And you thought wrong. Then she dropped the twist. I'm pregnant. I blinked. Excuse me. I found out 2 weeks ago. I don't know if it's yours or his. I'm not asking for anything. I just thought you should know. My knees went weak for a second. Not because I believed her, but because I almost did. But then I looked at her again. The envelope, the shaky voice, the lack of eye contact. It wasn't truth. It was desperation. You're lying, I said. No, Drew, I swear, no. You're lying because your world burned down and now you're trying to crawl out of the ashes and latch onto the last person who ever loved you. And it's not going to work. I stepped back. If you're pregnant, congratulations. Take it up with Nathan. I'm done. She burst into tears, crumpled to the ground. A couple from the building looked over, but I kept walking. I didn't stop. Not for 1 second. That night, she sent a final text. It wasn't real. I just wanted a reason to talk. I am sorry. For everything. I didn't reply. I saved the letter. Just in case. Blocked the number. Again. 2 weeks passed since Marissa's fake pregnancy stunt. 2 quiet weeks. I thought that might be the end. She played every card. Emotional manipulation, guilt, lies, and a legal nudge from Daddy's firm. But just when I let my guard down, the last and most desperate twist hit me like a brick. It started with a knock at my door. This time, it wasn't a cop. It was a courier. From the Charleston County Family Court. Mr. Bennett, I signed. Opened the envelope. Inside, a formal petition. Marissa Clay versus Drew Bennett. Request for financial damages and preliminary injunction for emotional distress. She was suing me in civil court. No legal firm this time. She'd filed pro se, representing herself. The accusations? Intentional infliction of emotional distress, interference with personal relationships, financial sabotage, defamation by implication, and the kicker? She wanted $100,000. I read the claim 3 times, pacing the condo in disbelief. She'd run out of rope and decided to swing it like a lasso. I called Cam. He came down from Atlanta the next day, sat on my couch, reading the paperwork while sipping bourbon. He finished the last page, looked up, and said, "She just set herself on fire trying to light you up." We drafted a motion to dismiss immediately. Cam included the following: screenshots of Marissa's own admissions from her apology letter, the HR policy stating their corporate standards, evidence that I never went public with anything, no social media, no employer contact, and, this part was brilliant, a sworn statement from Julia confirming Marissa's pregnancy lie, and breakdown outside my office. Cam also filed a counterclaim for harassment and misuse of the court system. When Marissa received that notice, she folded. Instantly, she withdrew the lawsuit a week later. No explanation, no apology, just a notice to dismiss. I never heard from her again. But here's the final cherry on top. Cam had added one sneaky clause in our filing. Because she filed in bad faith, we requested reimbursement for legal costs. The judge agreed. Marissa owed me $2,450. She never paid, so we filed a lien. Now, every time she applies for a loan, tries to rent, or buy a car, my name is there. A quiet footnote. A consequence she built with her own hands. My credit is repaired. My condo is peaceful. I'm still dating Tessa. We just booked a week-long hiking trip in the Blue Ridge Mountains. Sometimes I think back to that dinner when Marissa laughed at me. My work husband buys me lunch every day. You need to step up. And I realized something. She was right. I need to step up. Step up and out her life. Thanks for following this story to the end. If you've ever been burned by someone who thought you'd never walk away, hit like. And tell me in the comments, what's the smartest revenge you ever pulled off?